Hi, everybody. We're going to get started right now. My name is Alex Khurgin. I'm the Director of Learning Innovation at Grovo. We're a workplace learning technology company founded in 2010 in New York City. We empower our customers with microlearning technology and content that helps their people perform at their best. And my background is in philosophy, specifically the philosophy of mind and how human beings perceive the world. As such, I'm really passionate about learning, especially how to learn better and faster. At Grovo, I've helped develop our microlearning method as well as our internal learning culture, and I've spoken across the country helping folks like you build effective learning programs for a 21st century workforce. It is my pleasure to be joined today by Kate Rotunno, who is the Director of Customer Success at Grovo. Kate works with some of our most forward-thinking customers across all industries and sizes, from small, fast-growing companies like Assurant to larger enterprises like PepsiCo and Chevron. And today we're proud to give you a deep look into Grovo's new all-in-one microlearning platform, which was built to meet the challenges of the modern learner and the modern organizations that employ them. And when you have questions, please submit them in the chat and we'll get to them throughout this presentation and also at the Q&A at the end. But before we get going, let's take stock for a second. Why is it that we're all here? Well, the workplace is changing faster than ever. If our goal is to improve the performance of our people or our organizations, we're doing it against the backdrop of massive change and transformation. I've listed some of the most pressing factors here, and these are really intimidating challenges for almost any organization. They're the kinds of things that keep CEOs up at night. They might keep you up at night. And we've reached an inflection point when people are really starting to panic. 9 out of 10 executives surveyed by Deloitte believe that their organizations are not learning fast enough, and 42% of millennials plan to leave their employers for the same reason. And so although you can teach people to utilize new technology and to innovate more quickly, to grow without a traditional career path, to collaborate across cultures, all of the things that they need in order to thrive in times of change, we are still failing to do it right. And it's because the way that we traditionally think about learning doesn't really work in the digital, constantly changing workplace that we now find ourselves in. Even the learners themselves are now different. Let's meet the modern learner. The modern learner has 1% of their time for learning. That's roughly 24 minutes a week. They check their phones 150 times a day, and they switch tabs every minute. Try capturing and keeping the attention of somebody like that. But of course, that's all of us. We all have these humming, dinging, beeping devices we're carrying around that are full of apps perfectly calibrated to get our attention with notifications and click-worthy headlines, etc. So there's a war on for the attention of your learners. And to add to the difficulties, not only do we live in a golden age of distraction, but we are discovering more and more the limitations of human attention and memory. The problem with typical learning experiences like lectures or long e-learning videos is that they present too many things at once for too long a period of time. We've learned that working memory is limited to only a small number of items, or approximately between 4 and 7, and information stored in working memory that isn't rehearsed gets lost within 30 seconds. That means most of what people experience in a typical learning event never makes it to long-term memory. So if you want to build learning programs that match today's pace of business and work for today's distracted learners, who are already wired with severe limitations to their attention and memory, you turn to microlearning, which means learning in short, focused bursts timed to organizational points of need. Now, these bursts, they don't have to stand alone. They could be used to complement existing programs by, for example, helping reinforce what somebody learned in a live setting. And as we've been developing our microlearning method over the last 7 years, we've been lucky to implement microlearning programs tied to many different kinds of business initiatives that we got to learn from. So from preventing knowledge loss at a leading insurance provider to rebuilding culture after a major merger, we can't tell you who it was, but I can tell you it was ketchup related, to supporting a diverse and increasingly remote workforce at a global advertising powerhouse. Working with all of these organizations, we've observed that there are a few factors that you need to get right for microlearning to work best. And these make up the Grovo microlearning approach or philosophy. which is made up of these 5 principles. Microlearning works best when it is digestible. That means roughly 5-minute bursts of learning that capture and keep people's attention rather than mass instruction formats that cognitively overload learners, or at least complementing those mass instruction formats. Microlearning works best when it's point of need, meaning that it's timed to a specific project or performance or other moment when people are especially motivated, not just rolled out months or weeks before or after someone might really need it. Microlearning works best when it's continuous, meaning that we're moving from reactionary training, one-off, manual, hard-to-repeat events to continuous learning happening at many different points of the employee lifecycle. Microlearning works best when it's practical. That's to say, based on behaviors and actions, real things that people should be doing, not just based on things that you want them to know. And finally, microlearning works best when it's self-paced, meaning you can't just rely on one-time learning events because learners can't easily revisit them. They can't digest them at their own pace. Most events are going to be too fast for half of the people and too slow for the other half. So self-paced learning experiences allow people the time to properly reflect on what they're learning and connect it to what they already know, which is an essential part of getting things into long-term memory. And so the impact of microlearning when it's applied using those 4 principles is threefold. First, your learning and training offerings become way more engaging. People don't really have the time for long, drawn-out modules anymore. And microlearning fits into their continuous diet of short bursts of media that people are now accustomed to. For example, we worked with IHG, the International Hotel Group, to develop microlearning experiences for their customer support team. And every day, their reps take 5 to 10 minutes to learn at lunchtime. There is now a habit of learning in that organization because the barrier to doing it is very low. Microlearning is a lot faster and cheaper to develop for you, so it's a lot more efficient. It's also a lot faster to consume and apply for learners. We've seen customers save hundreds of thousands of dollars on their onboarding programs by cutting the onboarding times in half. The third and probably most important impact when you apply these principles is that you get really effective experiences. Besides respecting limitations of working memory, microlearning allows you to space learning out over time, right? It's really hard to capitalize on the spacing effect when you have big events. If you have short bursts of learning, it's a lot easier to space them out over time. It makes it so that people can immediately apply what they've just learned, and it places learning really close to the point of need. So for example, we work with an airline, and 2 of their employees were having a major conflict on the ramp at the DFW airport. And their manager saw this conflict, immediately logged into Grovo from his phone, searched for conflict resolution, found the exact content he was looking for, and a few minutes later, he called the 2 employees aside and put into practice the techniques that he had just learned on Grovo. Right? So sometimes the moment of need, when it's really urgent, you can solve it immediately with a short burst of learning that gets applied right away. Sometimes the moment of need is a little bit of a longer tail kind of thing. But in both of those cases, you're capitalizing on the moment when someone is really motivated to learn and you're giving them exactly what they need. And so it's no surprise that we see research from ATD that says that microlearning is really on the rise. 92% of organizations using microlearning plan to do more of it in 2017. And 67% of organizations not using microlearning plan to start in 2017 because they're seeing other organizations recognize the additional engagement, efficiency, and effectiveness that you're getting in a world when people are really distracted, right? And it really feels like in the last year there's been a wake-up call. Organizations are rapidly layering microlearning into their existing programs. And to be clear, it's not replacing traditional training, but instead it's enhancing and accelerating it. And with the all-in-one platform that Grovo just launched, we've applied everything that we've learned using microlearning, working with awesome companies like yours. But before we show you all of the good stuff, let's do some research ourselves. We have a poll here. And the poll is, are you planning on investing in microlearning in the next 12 months? Let's get a sense of our experience thus far, what our plans are. Okay, great, answers are rolling in. Over 50% of you have voted already. Let's get a couple more votes. Okay, great. Let's call it. So the results are in. Can we put them up? Okay, here we go. So 46% of you have already had some experience with microlearning. So nearly half of the folks in the room. Excellent. You will hopefully see a different approach to microlearning than you've used in the past. Something that is better and takes microlearning to the next level. If you plan on investing in microlearning, hopefully you'll see something that you really like. And for the minority of you that are not yet convinced in microlearning's efficacy or are not planning to do it, hopefully you'll take a look at the product and some of the use cases and get a taste for it. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Kate, who's going to take you through the Grovo product suite.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Alex, and thank you everyone for joining us today. As Alex mentioned earlier, my name is Kate Rotunno, and I'm the Director of Customer Success at Grovo. Our Customer Success team is a Gold Stevie Award-winning team that's really dedicated to the success of our customers through working closely with them and ensuring that Grovo is rolled out successfully and becomes an integral part of their employees' learning and development. As a customer success team, our goals are mutually aligned with the goals of our customers. If we are not successful unless they are with their learning programs. So we're very invested in driving engagement, in creating behavior change with our customers, and making Grovo, as I said, part of their everyday learning culture. I'm really proud to represent my team today, to represent our customers today. Some of you may be here on the line. If so, we're happy to see you, and for those of you who may eventually become part of the Grovo family, we look forward to meeting you in the future. So before I dive into the platform demo, I want to talk a little bit about why we did this and why we reimagined microlearning to create this all-in-one solution. So over the past several years, we've taken all of the feedback that we've gotten from our customers. We've taken everything that they love about microlearning, our microlearning content, and our technology, and made it better. Now we are the fastest, easiest way to get the right learning to the right people right at the moment that they need it. That story of one of our customers' airline is one of my favorite stories to tell, and it just really captures the effectiveness of our platform and our technology. During the platform demo, we'll talk about all of the features that are available. We'll talk through our learner experience and our engaging, beautiful learner home. We'll talk about the ability to create and assign microlearning content, both from our library and for our customers to be able to create their own content using our microlearning methodology. We'll take a look at the reporting that's available and how you can really see the effectiveness of your learning programs in your organization. And then we'll take a dive into the administration half of the platform. So let's dive right in. You can see where we're landing is our learner homepage. It's a beautiful, immersive page that invites learners to come into the platform and learn and consume content at every turn. Our VP of product, Maxime Asnayakov, he loves to make sure that we're all wowed. Every time he releases a feature, his big reaction that he's looking for is a resounding wow from the audience. And when we first got a glimpse of the learner home here at Grovo, I have to say, I was wowed, my team was wowed. We couldn't wait to put it in the hands of our customers, and I'm excited to show you to it today. You'll see right off the bat that the entire home is designed to be engaging. It's designed with the idea that an employee will go in and have many opportunities to jump right in to learn. The first thing I can see is where I left off in my most recent learning. And as I scroll down, I can see assignments that are upcoming, what I've been working on, and a personalized calendar that points out all of the upcoming due dates and past due dates for my assignments. I can see featured lessons that are pushed out to me by my organization. This is Grovo's actual platform for Grovo, so we use Grovo here for our own learning and development, and throughout the demonstration, I'll talk about some ways that we do that. As I keep scrolling, I get the opportunity to browse by tag. Our library is sectioned off by relevant content that's grouped by tags, which is a way that we encourage our learners to search under relevant topics that are interesting to them. And then I can review what I've learned in the past and make sure that if I need to brush up in that moment of need on management skills or something that I wanted to go back and see, I can hop back into my history. Before I take a look at a lesson and show you how we've reimagined microlearning and, as Alex mentioned, made it better than ever, I want to talk a little bit about our microlearning library. So as you can see, we can browse by tag. We can browse by tag. We can take a look at our lessons and our tracks. Lessons are one specific objective and microlearning concept that's a combination of materials. And then a track is a combination of lessons that allow a learner to walk away learning a topic. And our library is created by our in-house instructional designers, and we have thousands of lessons that are engaging and effective. And as you can see from some of the tags and some of the content that you can see on the screen, we cover a variety of topics from digital skills, soft skills, HR compliance. Some of my favorite that I've been consuming lately is our content on deep work and how to make sure that through the course of a busy day, you're able to find time and make time to get work done. We release more and more content every month. Our content team works closely with my team and our customers to understand what they're interested in and what people can't get enough of, so that our content is always up to date and always relevant for the modern learner. So I mentioned deep work, and I'm excited to show one of our lessons in this topic and give you an idea for how we've reimagined microlearning to make sure that we're keeping those principles in mind. So let's take a look at a Grovo lesson. And the first thing you'll notice is it's immersive. It takes up the entire screen so that when I dive into Learn, I'm actually focused on learning. We know that attention spans are shorter. We know that people get distracted. I personally am still in the process of breaking my email habit and staying focused, which is why I've been focusing so much on deep work. And the platform is designed to encourage those kind of behaviors, to take those 5 or 10 minutes per day that people can allocate towards learning and spend their time learning. You can see that we've incorporated a variety of multimedia, from videos and animation into cards and GIFs, different ways that will capture attention. Just a great example, one great example of the quality of our content that you can expect. I'll continue to flip through. You can see that I can easily track how far along I am in the lesson. I can go back if I need to review something. We love this functionality of GIFs in the lessons and just really quick ways to reinforce learning and make sure that people are, we're addressing learners who learn in different ways. And then every Grovo lesson includes a quiz, and quizzes are important to reinforce that behavior, to reinforce the topics. You can see that I know right away which is the correct answer and how I answered the question. And then one of the things we've been working with our customers on is how they can create behavior change or habits that come from the learning that their employees do. So whether you use Grovo or not, we encourage you to always think of this. How can someone take the lesson that they've just learned and incorporate it into their day so that it sticks and they're practicing that behavior? So we've just talked about our learner home and our library, and that's really the essential parts of the learner experience for Grovo. From here, I'm excited to introduce you to our Create tool. And the Create tool is what gives our customers the power to create microlearning content of their own that is beautiful and engaging and really quick and easy to do. So quick and easy, you'll see I am not a content creator, and I'll be able to create a lesson from scratch today. So as we think about the Create tool and this kind of the ability to create content out of the box for your organization, I wanted to tell you a little bit about why we designed this and where the Create tool comes from. So throughout Grovo's history, of course, we've been leaders in microlearning and have really pioneered this concept. And many of our customers were so excited and so impressed by our library that they wanted us to work with them to create microlearning content out of their proprietary information. So this was something that we offered for a while, and it was such a beloved product by our customers that we said, well, how can we create a way that our customers, regardless of the size of their budgets, can create content of their own, taking the best practices and knowledge of our instructional designers and putting that right into our customers' hands. And that's where this idea of the Create tool was born. So through Grovo's Create tool, anyone in your organization is able to create and design effective microlearning content right in the platform itself. So let's hop in and show you how easy it is to create a lesson. There's a variety of ways that you can introduce your own content. You can upload SCORM and PowerPoint files, which are translated into those beautiful cards that we saw when we watched the lesson. You can also use one of our templates, and templates are one of the things our customers are most excited about. We work with one of the largest recruiting agencies out there, and they use Grovo to educate their sales and marketing team and make sure that they're rolling out consistent training on best practices every month so that the team never falls behind and is always working with the best candidates for their customers. And they use our templates to ensure that those trainings are consistent so that the team knows that they can log in each month and they know what to expect and that they're going to be able to get a great result from that content. Templates walk through, I'll hop into our Teach a Skill template and just give you an idea of what it looks like. But they walk through and are designed by our instructional designers to highlight all of the points that are necessary, in this case, to teach a specific skill. Templates are easy to edit. You can drag and drop cards. You can add cards of your own. And I mentioned that we incorporate several different types of multimedia so that the lesson is engaging throughout. So today we won't use a template. I told you earlier that we would walk through one way that we use Grovo internally, and I'm going to do that by creating a lesson of my own from scratch. So one of the ways that we use Grovo here, and that many of our customers use Grovo, is for new employee onboarding, to first share information about the company with that employee, but then also to share information with the employee about the company. And so whenever a new employee joins Grovo, one of the first things that they do is take their onboarding training, get used to the departments and the way we do things here, but then create a lesson in Grovo to introduce themselves to the rest of the company. So let's say I'm a new hire, and I'm creating my introductory lesson to the rest of the company. I can create a beautiful title page, I can add an image, I can change the color and make it more personal to me. And then I'm able to add cards with different types of multimedia. I can add text. Again, I have the ability to change the colors, to upload images, and even position text in different places on the card. Let's show you how easy it is to add videos. Here I'm just dropping in a video of my little dog, Eloise. She has become quite an office dog and loves to come in on Fridays and kind of run around and say hi to everybody. So while that's loading up, I'll open up my next card. put in an image card, and I mentioned that we love using GIFs. So we can upload our GIF. There's me and Eloise. Here's Eloise saying hi and shaking hands. And I mentioned the last thing that we incorporate into videos here at Grovo are quizzes. So I can add my quiz, I can choose the correct answer, and then my lesson's ready to go. This one you can see is quick and easy to create. It took me less than 2 minutes to create a complete lesson. I will definitely say that some of the onboarding lessons for our new employees have been more exciting than this one, but you can see that it's so simple to get in, and you can really get creative and imaginative to capture your employees' attention. So a couple of other things before we exit the tool. You're able to use tags to create the areas and the associations in the library that this lesson should be in. So here I'm going to add it to our onboarding tag. I can get a link to share this lesson. I can share the unpublished draft so that someone can review before I make it available in the library. And then I can share the lesson builder and maybe send this to another member of the team to make sure that it's ready to go and I haven't missed anything before I send it out. I can preview the lesson and take a look at how it displays. And then I'm able to preview the lesson in mobile version as well. So we mentioned that the importance of microlearning is that it's there at the time of need when an employee needs it, and many times in our modern workforce, that's on the go. So we made sure that the mobile experience is just as immersive and beautiful as the desktop. So I'll exit and my lesson is saved. So now that you have seen the library, you've seen Grovo's content that comes out of the box, and you've seen the ability to create your own content through our Create tool, I want to show you how you can assign that content so that it's available to your employees not just through the library and not just for them to go find for themselves, but also that you can push out to them as they develop in their careers. So in order to make assigning content really simple and easy, we have developed campaigns. And campaigns eliminate the manual workload that's associated with assigning specific topics or specific information to learners. The beauty about campaigns and the things that our customers love the most is that you can create a campaign once, set the duration, and then you never have to create it again. And as new employees or new learners that are relevant for that campaign come through, you can just push it out to them right when they need it. One of the campaigns that we're working on internally is a new manager campaign, and as we're promoting people within our different departments and teams, they're able to take part in an ongoing manager learning program that coaches them through the beginning of their management career. So we'll walk through how to create a campaign and how simple it is. Another way that we're using Grovo now is as we introduce our customers to this new all-in-one platform, we want to give them ongoing training and make it really easy for them to be used to or to get informed about everything that's available in Grovo. So now that I have the campaign title and description included, I can add my lessons or my tracks. I can quickly pull from Grovo's microlearning library and add in relevant lessons that the learners will want to take advantage of. Here I'm adding a track, which again is a group of lessons that are all associated to a specific topic. It's easy for me to drag and drop, so I can make sure that the right content is coming up at the right time and that the lesson flows properly. One of the things that I love about campaigns is that Grovo has done the math for me, and they can tell me the suggested duration of this campaign, in this case 6 days. You can always set your own time frame as well. And then if this is something that's mandatory that I want to ensure that learners are consuming and getting a passing score, I can make this a graded campaign and set a designated passing score as well as retakes. So once I've built my assignment, my due date automatically pops over. I can assign this to myself or my team. And I'm always reminded of the actions that I'm taking so that I can make sure that I'm getting where I want to be as I end up with this assignment. And that's it. It's as simple as that. So now we've seen our learner experience, we've seen the Grovo library, and we've seen the ability to create and assign content. From here, the next logical thing is to see how that content is being consumed. And I've mentioned a lot of things that I love about the platform. I have to say our standard reports is my personal favorite. We all know, and my team knows all too well, that a learning program and the best way to evidence the effectiveness of it is to report on engagement and to see how often are your people going in, how often are they consuming content, and what are the trends that you're seeing so you can make it better and better. So we encourage all of our customers to check out this page as often as they can, every week, every month, share it with their stakeholders and decision makers, and really, shout from the rooftops what's going well and their plans to make their programs better and better. So you can see we've made the standard reports page that home base to understand the health and the effectiveness of your program. We can set the time frame for the last 7 days, the last 30 days, and then we can see the highest level engagement facts and points where we can improve. I love the most popular lesson. This is something that our customers have been taking advantage of so that they know what to feature on those featured lessons and how to push out content so that it's most interesting to their learner base. In addition to our standard reports, we have a variety of custom reports available that you can download from the platform that cover all of the different areas that you would want to and would expect to be able to get detailed reporting on. That covers users and consumption. It covers content and assignments. So now we've talked about reporting, we've seen how effective our campaigns are, and the last thing that I want to show you today in the platform is the ability to administer your learning program on the back end. And in our administer tool, there's everything that you'd expect, but designed in a way that it's engaging and beautiful and technology that the admins on the platform will want to interact with and will want to take advantage of. So you're able to control the user experience for all of your learners by having attributes that are associated with maybe your HRIS or specific information about that employee, like department or title or hire date. And then in addition to attributes, we have customizable groups. And this is a way that you can create unique groups for assignments based on a variety of attributes. So some of you may know that Grovo is bi-coastal. We have our headquarters in New York, and then we have our office in San Francisco. And one of the things that we do to drive our culture and to drive the relationships and collaboration across our two offices is a monthly event called Grovo Clubs, where people who have similar interests can participate in clubs like board games and trivia across our two offices through our video conferencing. So you can imagine that the leaders of Grovo Clubs might be in both offices, they might be in different departments and have different titles and different attributes. So we're able to create that group and keep information going out to those users that's relevant to them despite their unique attributes. And the last thing in our user administrative experience is roles, and that's making sure that users are given the right roles that allow them to be effective on the platform. So whether they're a learner, a content creator or an administrator, they're able to go in and see what should be available to them. So of course, through our administrative portal, you're also able to manage your content. This includes creating custom tags and surfacing that content that you want to be available to all of your learners on the homepage. And then last but not least, and one of the best parts about Grovo and our platform, is the ability to brand the platform so that it feels and looks like a part of your organization's tools and the tools that your organization would use every day. And then our integrations that you're able to take advantage of so that Grovo becomes part of your full stack of HR and L&D tools. So there's so much to Grovo, as you can see, and obviously today I didn't have time to show you everything. So with that being said, if you're interested in learning more, we would love to connect you with one of our learning specialists, and we'd love to hear from you. So reach out to us and learn how microlearning can work for your organization. Some of you are using microlearning already. We saw that some of you are already thinking about it, and maybe we've convinced a few of that group who wasn't convinced yet to come check out Grovo and talk to us to learn more. We're also, if you're in the New York area next week, hosting a happy hour with our customers, with my team. We'll be there and be demoing the platform, answering questions, and just talking about what it's like to use Grovo and some of the experiences our customers have had and the results they've seen since they implemented Grovo in their organization. We'll be sending a copy of the webinar once we wrap up today. So there will be information for how to RSVP to this happy hour in that follow-up, and you can RSVP through the link. So we've been receiving questions throughout. Alex and I will be happy to take those questions now. And thank you all so much for your time and again for joining us. So our first question is about our content library and how we generate content. So the question is, I'd love to hear more about how you generate content. What sources and experts do you use to stay current and so prolific? Well, thank you for the compliment. And our content team has a diligent process that they go through to first identify and then qualify their subject matter experts. So for each topic or lesson that we cover, we work with subject matter experts, and our instructional designers take their information and break it out into those microlearning chunks. Frequently, we'll release content into the library in stages so that you first get a taste of what's coming, and then over the course of time, add more and more content to each topic, as well as adding new topics altogether. I mentioned that we add content to our library every month, and we're excited to continue to grow it based on trends in the market as well as feedback from our customers. The next question is whether Grovo is mobile accessible, and it absolutely is. We saw an example of how our lessons play and the learner experience from mobile, but the entire platform is mobile accessible. So you're able to do all of the functionality that we saw today, not just on a desktop, but on your mobile as well. The next question is about leveraging our Create tool to make content job specific. So the question is, 80% of our training is job specific. How can I leverage your platform for job specific training? Is it even cost effective in this scenario? One of the things that I'm most passionate about our Create tool and about the ability to put content creation in the hands of your employees is the cost effectiveness and is the affordability of it. I'm sure many of you know that it's very expensive to create custom content out in the marketplace and to find places to turn your content into something that's viewable. So through the Create tool, you can create content that's job specific in several ways. One of the ways that our customers do that is by using subject matter experts in each role or in each department to create content and to share it with people within that department as well. Another way that you can do it is by having managers have access to that Create tool so that managers can roll out training that's job specific for their employees or for members of their team. The next question is about our templates. I love our templates. They make that process of creating content so easy and simple. The question is, can you personalize the templates for user-generated content according to your brand identity? You absolutely can. So as you saw in the Create tool, you can change the templates to change the colors or pictures. Many of our customers have some specific rules about photo sharing and what kind of photos are approved. So when they use templates or when they use the Create tool, they have a standard that follows those best practices so that anyone who's creating content is able to do so in a way that's acceptable in their organization, that's branded and customized to them.
We have a question from Amy. What type of measurements we've utilized to track the impact of behavior change? So we've seen folks have success with behavioral surveys of asking before and after the learning experience about how frequently people are currently performing behaviors. But part of my job is to figure out how the existing templates we have, how effective they are at changing behaviors, and helping our content team develop new templates that are increasingly more and more effective for different purposes. So that's something we're very interested in right now and are always experimenting with.
The next question is from Larissa, and this question is, are you able to change the text color of the title card like you can on the text cards? And this is a great question, and one of the points that I'm happy to touch on is that our instructional designers were very specific with the design and the flexibility that's within the Create tool. And with that, they also wanted to limit some of the functionalities so that you are able to create replicatable content so that there are some controls and consistency. A lot of research went into the tool and went into how we create content so that it's designed to be engaging and designed to have different types of multimedia, but to limit some of the ability so that it doesn't get unwieldy. So the answer to that question is no. The color on the title card for the text itself is always white. We're always taking feedback from our customers and always learning to or seeking to understand what works well for them. And this is something that we're actually currently brainstorming on with our customer community and our product team. The next question is from Sue, and Sue wants to know a little bit more about our groups. And she's asking, can we add to a group of staff, like all office staff? And absolutely, groups are dynamic. So we want the groups to change and grow as your organization changes and grows. So new members can join. You can add those members to the group as they join. You can create subsets of groups. So you might have all office staff and then New York or San Francisco office staff. But of course, groups can be updated at any time.
We have a question again about business outcomes or measurement with regard to behavior change or higher level business outcomes. And Kate mentioned that our platform is really focused on learner engagement, but of course we work with every customer to figure out what the important KPIs are, and we work on a measurement plan with them.
The next question is from Lauren, and this question is about filtering reporting and understanding more from our reporting functionality. And Lauren is wondering if we can filter reporting by groups. And you're definitely able to do that. Our custom reports that are available to download from the platform allow you to see specific information on users, groups, assignments, content, you name it and you can see it. And this is something that if you are interested to learn more, our learning specialists will be able to show you how you can leverage our reporting so that it works really well for your organization and your needs. The next question is from Shonda, and this question is, how do you send lessons to a specific group of people? This is a great question, and it goes back to the campaigns that we talked about a little bit earlier. So campaigns give you the ability to take a combination of lessons or tracks and assign that combination to a specific learner or group of learners. The next question is another question from Shonda, another great question. Can you personalize for each learner? And she noticed that the platform we were in said, hello, Kate. And yes, you can. So the platform knows who is logged in and when they're logged in, and it will say hello to the specific user. The calendar, the assignments, all of those great things on the learner experience are personalized for that learner when they're logged in. So we were actually in my Grovo platform today.
Keep the questions coming. We've got a few more coming in here.
So the next question is from Rebecca, and this question is, how often is content updated? Our content is updated regularly. I mentioned that one of the parts of our library is our digital skills content, and of course digital skills change so quickly, and it's very important to make sure that digital skills and digital tools are always up to date. So our content team has a very thorough quality process, not only for sourcing new content, but also for updating existing content. We've had a couple of questions about integrations and how Grovo can become part of your HR and L&D stack. And we offer all of the integrations that you would expect. So of course, SSO, we encourage our customers to take advantage of our SSO integrations. The easier it is to access, the better, and the more engagement we see. And then we can integrate with your LMS or your HRIS through our API. The next question is from Larissa, and Larissa is wondering if we have an app. We don't have a native app, but the product from the learner and admin perspective is designed to be mobile friendly so that you can accomplish everything on your mobile that you would accomplish on your desktop as well. The next question is from Myra, and this question is there any chance to have access to a trial period to experience the platform? We would love to set you up for a trial. I'll go back to our contact information. If you contact us, we will make sure that you're matched up with one of our expert learning specialists. They'll want to get to know you, get to know your organization, and then they'll be able to set you up with a trial so you can see how Grovo would look, feel, and work in your organization. The next question is from Mary Beth, and this question is if you're able to see whether trainees' answers are correct or incorrect for quizzes. This is a great question, and it's one of the things that our customers love about the way we've designed this platform. You're able to see not only whether a question was answered correct or incorrect, you're able to see whether an assignment was completed on time, whether it was completed late, whether it was completed passed on time, completed, passed, failed. You're able to see all of the information that you need to really understand the learners' consumption of that content and how they performed on quizzes that are required. The next question is from Emily, and this question is, are you able to upload your own content like Word docs, spreadsheets, PowerPoints, etc. You absolutely are. Through our Create tool, you're able to upload everything that you've listed and more. And we encourage our customers to incorporate their own content into the platform. When learners get a variety of content that they can use to develop, from the out-of-the-box content that we offer, ranging to your proprietary content, they're more inclined to engage and to take advantage of what's available there.
Molly asked if we provide suggested or template surveys. That's not something that we offer at this time.
Keep the questions coming. These are really good ones, some that I'm really glad you asked because we didn't get to specifically touch on it during the demo. The next question is from Sarah, and she's wondering if we have any healthcare clients, and if we do, how they use the platform. Sarah, we have several healthcare clients, some that use us in a variety of ways, and I can talk about two. One uses us to offer professional development for their employees for competencies in their organization. And this is a great way to leverage custom tags. So what they've done is gone ahead and mapped all of the out-of-the-box Grovo content to their internal 8 competencies and created custom tags that align with those competencies, like leadership, professional development, and others. And so they use our content and platform for a professional development space within their organization, because they're always getting, as I'm sure you're familiar with, Sarah, if you're at a healthcare organization yourself, that required training and that technical training. So for them, Grovo is a space for professional development. Another one of our healthcare clients uses us on the flip side for the technical training and the information for their employees to be able to do their jobs every day and stay up to date with the latest practices, procedures, etc. So this customer rolls out training every week and every month to specific groups and users to make sure that they're up to date on the latest policies, procedures, and information at their organization. The next question is from Tammy, and this question is about being able to hide content that's available out of the box from Grovo's library. This is an area that you can definitely take advantage of. We love when our customers are able to use our content library, but not everyone can. And so if you want to use Grovo's intuitive and beautiful platform for the learner experience, you are able to hide the content for specific groups and make it available for other groups through our lesson library. The next question is from Lauren, and Lauren is wondering if we have customers using the platform for contact center training. And yes, Lauren, absolutely. We have many customers using us for this use case. One that we mentioned earlier is IHG, and it's a great use case because, as you know, in contact centers and call centers, there's not a ton of time to spend learning, and you don't have the time to, dedicate to a long video or a long training course. And so these customers use us for that at the moment of need, on-the-go training that their employees can take advantage of in those short stints of time that they get. The next question is from Sarah, and Sarah is asking about if we will develop custom content so that it matches the Grovo look and feel. And Sarah, what we've done is given you the ability to do that in the platform yourself through the Create tool. We do share best practices from my team to ensure that you have the information, the training, and the expertise that you need to do that. And then our content team can work with you as well to make sure that you are following the same instructional design principles. They can help create templates that work for you and make Grovo consistent with your organization's brand while still letting your content feel like that's in our library. So I mentioned that as a follow-up, we'll send this webinar, we'll send all the information, the link to register for our happy hour. We would love to see you there. We'll also send these questions as well as other FAQs about the new platform. We so appreciate all of you taking the time to join us today. It's been great to see, or I guess read questions from some new faces and some familiar faces as well. So thank you to everyone who came out to join us, and we hope to hear from you and to welcome you into our Grovo family in the future.